The wind howled, rain lashed against the windows. The village of Oakhaven was shrouded in a storm, dark and menacing. Legends whispered of a haunted mansion on the hill, its silhouette a jagged scar against the stormy sky. A place of whispers and shadows, where the living feared to tread. The villagers spoke of the mansion in hushed tones. Stories passed down through generations. Tales of a family cursed, of a mirror that stole souls. Some dismissed it as folklore, but a palpable dread hung in the air whenever the mansion was mentioned. The storm tonight seemed to amplify that dread, turning whispers into screams in the wind. Oakhaven was a place forgotten by time. Its cobbled streets, now glistening with rainwater, led to the foot of the hill where the mansion stood. No one dared to venture up that path. Not tonight. The storm felt like a warning, a physical manifestation of the mansion's malevolence. But four friends, young and foolhardy, stood at the edge of the village, their faces illuminated by the flickering gaslight of a street lamp. They were drawn to the mansion, a magnet of fear and curiosity, ready to challenge the storm and the legends. They were about to step into a night of terror, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. The mansion loomed above them, a gothic monstrosity of crumbling stone and decaying wood. Gargoyles leered from the roof, their shadows dancing menacingly in the flickering lightning. The iron gates, rusted and half open, creaked like the whispers of tormented souls. As the friends pushed open the gates, a cold wind swept down the hill, carrying the scent of damp earth and decay. The path leading to the mansion was overgrown with weeds. The stone steps cracked and crumbling. Each step they took seemed to echo through the silence, a drumbeat of apprehension. The oak tree at the foot of the mansion, its branches gnarled and twisted, seemed to reach out towards them, its leaves rustling ominously in the wind. The mansion's windows were dark, like empty eyes staring out at the storm. The air crackled with a strange energy, a palpable sense of foreboding. Reaching the front door, they paused. The door was massive, made of dark oak, with a heavy iron knocker shaped like a grotesque hand. Hesitantly, Mark, the bravest of the group, reached out and knocked. The sound echoed through the mansion, a hollow boom that seemed to awaken something within. The four friends, Sarah, Mark, Emily, and David, stood huddled in the mansion's foyer. Dust sheets covered the furniture, cobwebs hung from the chandeliers, and the air was thick with the smell of decay. The storm raged outside, but within the mansion an eerie silence prevailed. They had dared each other to spend the night, a test of courage, a chance to prove their bravery in the face of local legends. But now, surrounded by the mansion's oppressive atmosphere, their bravado seemed to dwindle. Each creak of the floorboards, each gust of wind whistling through the broken windows, sent shivers down their spines. Sarah, the most sensitive of the group, felt a growing unease. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, their every move scrutinized by unseen eyes. Mark, trying to appear unfazed, joked about ghosts and ghouls, but even his laughter sounded hollow in the mansion's stillness. Emily, her eyes darting nervously around the room, pointed to a grand staircase at the far end of the foyer. "Let's explore," she suggested, her voice barely a whisper. David, ever the pragmatist, pulled out a flashlight. "We should stick together," he cautioned, "and stay alert." As they started up the stairs, the mansion seemed to sigh around them, as if disturbed from a long sleep. In the mansion's upper floor, a labyrinth of darkened rooms and winding corridors awaited them. Dust lay thick on the floor, and portraits of long-dead ancestors stared down from the walls, their eyes eerily following the friends as they moved. The air was heavy, filled with the weight of forgotten memories and unspoken secrets. At the end of a corridor, they found a room with its door slightly ajar, a pale light spilling out, beckoning them closer. As they cautiously pushed the door open, they entered a grand bedroom, its walls lined with bookshelves and its windows boarded shut. But the focal point of the room was a large, ornate mirror, framed in silver and intricately carved with scenes of mythical creatures and twisting vines. The mirror's surface was dark, reflecting nothing but a distorted image of the room, emanating a chilling cold that seemed to seep into their bones. Local legend claimed that the mirror was cursed, once owned by a vain and cruel man who made a pact with a dark entity to preserve his youth. the entity granted his wish. But at a terrible price, his soul was trapped within the mirror, doomed to watch his reflection age and wither while he remained eternally young. The curse, the villagers whispered, extended to anyone who dared gaze into the mirror's depths. Sarah felt a knot of dread tighten in her stomach as she looked at the mirror. Of all the friends, she was the most susceptible to the mansion's unsettling atmosphere, always sensitive to the supernatural, able to sense things others couldn't. Now, standing before the cursed mirror, a wave of icy fear washed over her. The mirror pulsated with a dark energy, its surface shimmering as if something was trying to break through. Her reflection, usually so familiar, looked distorted and menacing, as if mocking her fear. She tried to look away, but her gaze was inexplicably drawn back to the mirror's depths. A whisper seemed to snake its way into her mind, a voice both seductive and terrifying. It spoke of her deepest fears, her insecurities, her hidden desires, promising power, knowledge, a glimpse into the unknown. But beneath the allure, she sensed a malevolence that chilled her to the core. She stumbled backward, away from the mirror, her heart pounding in her chest. "We should leave," she gasped, her voice trembling. "This place, it's not right." But her friends, caught up in their own curiosity and bravado, seemed not to hear her plea. They were drawn to the mirror, fascinated by its dark allure. And as they stepped closer, Sarah knew that something terrible was about to happen.